When I die, wherever afterlife is, I need there to be tacos waiting for me that good.
We left the US with 2 backpacks, our cat, and a dream to finally learn Spanish. So here we are in Merida. It's technically for a month. Okay, fine, 2 months. And honestly, worth every second. Week 1, we couldn't even say our own age in Spanish.
Yo tengo 13 y 1 años.
Week 8, we ate 12 tacos in one sitting and called it studying. So yeah, here's what our time in Merida really looked like. But mostly, this is everything we would tell a friend to do, to see, and to eat. So sit back, relax, and maybe take some notes. And don't watch this with an empty stomach. There will be a lot of food.
Y el tiempo. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We ended the last video talking about our Spanish immersion school, so let's pick up right where we left off. This is La Calle, and over the next 7 weeks, this building with the pink door and colorful classrooms is going to take us from full-on gringos to slightly more competent gringos who can order tacos without embarrassing themselves. Sometimes.
Hola. Me llamo Sarah.
Just kidding, you gotta wait to the end to see if our Spanish improved.
Día una de clase de español.
See. It's day 1. We have about a 23-minute walk to our class. We gotta meet our instructors, do an oral exam. We had to do a written exam before and turn that in, but we knew absolutely nothing on it, so this oral exam should be pretty interesting.
I turned in our written exam blank and just wrote our personal information on the front.
Yeah, that's about all we knew. So we are going into this with the bare minimum of what we know in Spanish.
It was hard because I knew what the questions on the test were asking me to do, but I could not answer them. They always say it's easier to comprehend than to speak back and write back, and that was the case for me.
Merida is so beautiful, and it only got more picturesque the further north we went. Bright pink bougainvilleas spilling over stucco walls, local panaderias baking fresh bread that smelled like heaven on a humid morning. It's the kind of place where you can imagine yourself sipping a cold drink under a shady tree in the park, forgetting what time it is, and not really caring. Except we do care because we're running late.
Welcome to our beautiful little Spanish school where we'll be spending the next few weeks. This is Saul, our professor. And this is Erica, aka the real MVP of the Spanish school. She whips up the most incredible vegetarian meals for the students, and for about 120 pesos a plate. That's like $7, and it's honestly a steal. I don't usually go for vegetarian, but Erica could make steamed air taste good.
We just did our oral exam.
Went about as well as you'd expect.
They just needed to confirm that we are A0 is our level of Spanish.
Not even 1.
We
0.
both got where are
Zero.
you from, what's your name. We have one other student in our class this week who's at our level, and we've met one other who I think is a level or 2 above us. But everyone seems very nice and welcoming and used to bad Spanish.
We're putting ourselves out there, mistakes and all, so go easy on us. Learning a new language is humbling, hilarious, and really hard. But we're making the effort.
Serious. En la semana. Vemos.
Yo llego a tiempo al trabajo todos los días. Porque yo trabajo en mi casa.
Day 1. How'd we do? Don't answer that.
Later on, we ventured to a restaurant nearby called Monte Blanco. It's known for its traditional Yucatán food. It's a little on the pricier side by Merida standards, but we're willing to splurge a little bit for some good cochinita.
We actually thought it'd be a lot busier because we had to make a reservation, but we sat outside, we're in the shade, and it's really nice. There's us, another person here, and then a table for a celebration. So we got the sopa de lima, the cochinita pibil, obviously. And then for drinks, we got the chaya limon, agua fresca, and I got a ojo rojo, which is kind of like a michelada, but I got it with tecate.
The first thing we ordered was the sopa de lima, a traditional Yucatan soup made from a lime base. Next came the cochinita pibil.
So we both got cochinita pibil, but I got mine in taco form, and I think it's a little drier in the tacos, whereas Tony's is just like marinating in all the juices, and it's a lot juicier, and I think it tastes a little better. So I'd recommend just getting it on its own, not in the tacos.
Plus, if you order the cochinita pibil, they'll give you tortillas anyway, and you can make tacos with that if you want. That's the way to go.
So we ended up paying about 800 pesos for our meal. If I'm being honest, it was good. But for the price, I think the markets could give it a run for its money. What's next?
Homework.
Homework.
Guess we're heading back to do our Spanish homework. Let's skip ahead. But before that, Otto left us a surprise when we got back. See if you can spot it.
We have our own personal butler.
Butler? Where is Butler?
Where pretty much everything that we need except for an oven. So we do have a very large fridge. I have nothing for you. There's a microwave. I promise the floor is clean. Ew! What the hell happened, bruh? Hey, you drank pool water. Just as I say, I promise the floor is clean. It just looks like there's like spots and stuff on the tile. Gross, and a giant turd from Otto.
Classes during the week would go how you would expect. We'd learn a lot, struggle with some new verb tense, eventually get that down only for something new to kick our butts, and it was a lot of worksheets.
You want to know what 8 weeks of Spanish classes look like in a physical form? It's this. This is all of our worksheets from 2 months.
And a lot of speaking, but we played fun language learning games too.
¿Cuál es tu libro favorito?
Mi libro favorito es Ender's Game. ¿Qué tipo de música bailas?
Me gusta bailar hip hop.
It's possible.
¿Despertarse? Sí. Ok. 45.
37, 44.
Sí.
La Calle also sometimes puts on weekly events, trips to cenotes, ruins, cantina crawls, that sort of thing. But one thing that we signed up for is dance lessons, so we're heading back to school tonight to learn an Afro-Latin dance routine.
¿Cómo te llamas? Sara, mucho gusto, yo soy Doris. ¿Cuál es tu nombre?
Mi nombre es
Tony. Ah, mucho gusto, Tony.
Fair warning, we're rough. But this is a judgment-free zone, right? Also, I might have only filmed our butts. Sorry.
Y vuela, abre la cadera. Y 1, 2, eso, ándale. 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Y el tiempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm gonna lower the volume here because the music was on full blast at this point and we don't need a copyright strike. If you know the song Tu Con El, imagine that's what we're dancing to. If we keep up with our Spanish, we might be pretty good in a year. But anyway, today we're heading to Progresso, and it's beach day, baby. But first, the bus. We've heard plenty of people get tripped up navigating public transit in Merida, and to be fair, there's like 5 different types of buses ranging from the cozy minivan to the beat-down old school buses.
The bus company that is used is called Auto Progresso. It only goes from Merida to Progresso and then back, so it shouldn't be too difficult for us to figure out today. It is like a few blocks from our apartment, which is great, and less than a 10-minute walk from Plaza Grande.
You can flag down these buses in town, but if you don't want to stand for an hour, get on at the bus station.
Hola, dos por favor. Redondo. Gracias.
Gracias.
Is this fine? So the buses to and from Progresso run every 20 minutes, Monday through Saturday. On Sundays, I believe they only run every hour, but you're not going to miss one. Just show up whenever and you can catch the next one. It was 54 pesos round trip for the both of us, so 108 total. Make sure you hang on to your ticket. Don't lose it. Don't get it crumpled or wet. Otherwise, you'll have to buy another one. If you do, it's not detrimental because it is pretty affordable. The tickets are good for all day, so you can hop on whatever bus you want when you get here, and then when you're ready to come back, you just hop on whatever bus is available. And it is cash only.
The seats aren't winning any awards, but for a 1-hour ride, they do the job. Definitely not luxury, but also not bad. Could be worse. We've had worse.
We made it to Progresso. The bus ride actually wasn't that bad. It was maybe a little over an hour, maybe an hour. We got on at 8 o'clock and it's 9 o'clock now, so about an hour.
That's how math works.
I'm smart. There are multiple bus stops too. I think you're going to want to get on at one of the stations because as they made stops along the way, people start getting on and you can see it filling up. Eventually people had to stand. So you can get on at the stops, but I recommend definitely getting on at one of the stations and getting off at the station because that'll put you closer to the downtown area and to the beach.
Progresso has some seriously cool looking restaurants. This one in particular caught my eye with its name and decor. But it turns out it doesn't open until the evening and will be long gone by then. So we're finding a spot to park on the beach and worrying about food later.
So the people we've talked to in Merida have all been very friendly, but I feel like once you get to like a beach town, everyone just is even more relaxed and friendly. Chill, beachy vibes, yeah.
More later, do you want a restaurant service? I bring you.
Okay, great.
We have ceviches, cócteles, micheladas,
Perfecto.
margaritas.
Gracias. Got 2 loungers in this umbrella structure. It was 300 pesos for the day. Someone had told me it'd be 250. Maybe that's for like the not so nice umbrellas, but 300 is totally fine. And it's lovely. It's so quiet. We're here at like 9, which people are still setting up. The vendors are still closed. They're still kind of opening up. So I think this was the perfect time to get here. And we have front row seats to Gulf of Mexico.
I don't know what I was expecting exactly, but it's way nicer than I thought it'd be. As you get closer to the water, the sand is a little bit more, has a lot more shells in it, but kind of near the pier, perfect sand. 8 out of 10. Let's see what the water's like though. There's Sarah. Hey.
At any rate, this water is too nice to be in alone, so let's get Sarah.
There is a sign over there that says be careful of jellyfish though, so don't know when they're around, but you might want to watch your step. I thought the beach would be a lot more rocky than it is. I think that's probably why my expectation was a little bit different. What do you always say about my feet after I get out of the ocean?
When your feet are wet and they get sandy, it looks like panko chicken. Panko crusted chicken.
What do you think?
We spent a good chunk of the day just lounging. Having pretty much this entire section of the beach to ourselves, there was no real rush to do anything else. We cracked open our books and read for a while, and every so often a vendor or a wandering musician would stroll by, offering up snacks, souvenirs, or the occasional impromptu concert.
Tony's making me leave.
I'm hungry. We were here 3 hours, yeah?
Yeah.
So, hungry and my skin feels like tan leather right
4
now.
hours, I think, actually.
Dry. 4 hours? We've been here 4 hours.
Almost 5.
Almost 5 hours, so yeah.
Sarah didn't seem quite ready to leave, so I let her chill out for a bit longer while I went exploring the boardwalk. It's called Chocolate Pier and it stretches for nearly half a mile, which apparently includes a jungle gym. Naturally, I had to test if I still got it. It wasn't smooth, but I still got it. Oh, and the Meteorite Museum is here too. We didn't have time to check it out, but it looks really interesting. As you make your way down the Chocolate Pier, there's a noticeable shift in the vibe. It starts to get a bit louder, a bit livelier, probably because I'm heading closer to the hotel zone.
And then the end by the Progresso sign is where all the touristy things are, the attractions, the high upscale restaurants and happy hours, the fancy seating, and you know, all the stuff that comes with a more touristy beach spot. I like where we are, where it's a little bit more secluded, a little bit more local.
I got my picture of the sign, and then we headed to find something cheap to eat. We found this taqueria on the corner, and it looked clean. Plus, the tacos seemed cheap too. But we would later learn from Saul that this chain is known for giving people bubble guts. We made it through unscathed though.
They gave us an option to have an English menu and a Spanish menu. I chose the Spanish menu, and I think we did pretty well. I think I ordered what I wanted.
That's the start.
Yeah.
It took us a full month to get Sarah used to spicy food in Southeast Asia.
Ooh, picante.
So now the question is, how long will it take for her to get used to Mexican spices?
Also picante. Picante. Oh my god.
Place your bets in the comments.
Campechano is pretty much our favorite taco mixture. It's basically a combination of a bunch of different meats. You got pork, you got beef, chorizos in there, and it quickly became our favorite. So let's try these out.
Not touching our favorite bites. This is hot as though. Tony and I have had this discussion, but we feel like Mexican spice hits you immediately and like right on the tongue. And when we compare it to like Thai spice, I think Thai spice is more of a slow build and like really gets you in your throat and in the back of your mouth. I don't know what I prefer. What do you prefer? Mexican spice.
We made our way back to Merida in the afternoon, just in time for the Saturday night festivities to start. Merida's got some legendary cantinas, and there are two that locals and travelers kept telling us not to miss. Tonight we're checking out the first one, and if the hype is even half true, we're in for a good time.
Well, the sun has dipped below the buildings, which means the temperature has gotten significantly cooler, which means that Tony and I are back out on these streets. So we're gonna find some food, possibly a cantina, and then see what nightly festivities Merida has in store for us tonight.
We came for a beer, stayed for the tacos, and the live band, and by the end we ended up paying 359 pesos.
What'd you think of the cantina?
Loved the cantina. Cervezas grande y los tacos. I don't know how to say past tense yet, so los tacos were delicioso y la música divertida.
Wow.
Gracias.
How many days in a row could you eat tacos?
The rest of my life, every single day. I do not get sick of them. Good tacos.
Good tacos.
Good
yes.
tacos.
Not
yeah.
like American tacos.
Don't get sick of them.
First cantina in Mexico, check. Next up, Pok Ta Pok. Or so I thought.
We are here at like a little before 8 o'clock, so we got a really good spot, I think, and we're gonna see them play. Of course, now the players don't have to become sacrifices if they win, so that's a good thing.
Why would you need to why are people dying?
Because in the traditional sense of the game, the winners would be sacrificed.
Then why would you win? I would do everything to not win. What the?
They probably did,
What
and then
the
someone
hell?
has to win.
So let me back up. As far as I know, it's still debated whether the winners or losers were sacrificed. Some stories say the winners were sacrificed because it's considered an honor. Other historians say it's the losers who got the axe. But not every game was life or death. A lot of it was just symbolic, about power, gods, and cosmic balance. And sometimes it was really just an intense way to settle an argument. So, were the winners sacrificed? Maybe, maybe not. But either way, it's not happening tonight.
In the meantime, we are going to head to what?
Mexico night.
Mexico night, which is probably 16 minutes up this road, which is Calle 60? Calle 60? So hopefully that's still going on.
I think tonight is Oaxaca themed because I kept hearing Oaxaca, Oaxaca. So this might be like the traditional dances of Oaxaca. Don't quote me on that. but it was great. Very entertaining, free, which we love, and now we're gonna walk back.
So we've shown you a few of the nightly events here in Merida, but now let's run through the full weekly schedule. Monday nights is Vaqueria Yucateca. It's traditional dance, colorful outfits, and it starts at 9 p.m. So the folks around here don't go to bed early. Tuesdays is for live music, and it's like a 40s or 50 themes event over at Parque Santiago. It's like stepping into your abuela's record player, and the locals are dancing like it's prom night. Wednesdays and Fridays, there's a video mapping light show. Wednesdays at Casa Mateo, and Friday nights at Monumento a la Patria. Thursdays is more live music at Parque Santa Lucia. What we know now to be Fridays is when they play Pok Ta Pok. More on this later. Saturdays is Noche Mexicana, because over on Paseo Monteo, there's food, there's folk dancing, there's mariachi, and there's even more local Yucatan dancing. And then there's Sunday, a full-blown Merida party. In the morning you have Biciruta. They shut down Paseo de Monteo and other streets so you can bike through the city traffic-free. It's like having your own personal Tour de France. Elsewhere, there's Merida en Domingo, which in the afternoon there's more live music, more dancing, and a pop-up street market. This stuff happens every week. Yes, all of it. Speaking of Sundays, let's pick things up there.
So it's Sunday morning in Merida, and here, just like pretty much the rest of Mexico, things really shut down on Sundays so people can go out and exercise and ride bikes. In Merida, they call it Biciruta, I think. It's a really good idea. There's an app called NBC. It's basically like Lime. You rent the bikes for 75 minutes for free, and then after that, every hour, I think it's like 20 pesos, which is pretty cheap. What a fun way to spend a Sunday morning.
Sí. Es muy divertida.
See, this is a completely different part of town for us. This is vastly different from where we're staying. Both sides are really nice, but this side is like very manicured towards the upper class and tourists. So it's a little nicer.
But they have a bike lane all on this main street, so we could come back on a different day that's not Sunday and still like bike safely.
So we had to stop and take a couple pictures of the mansions that are around here because they're mansions. Like, whoa. And there's so many different bikes out here. There's kids, there's old people, all different types of contraptions that they're pushing through the streets. It's really neat.
Okay, break time is over. Let's push on. We biked for a few more miles down the main road, taking in the sights and all of the smiling faces, and we couldn't help but smile back. This is how you spend a Sunday morning.
From afar, the Monumento a la Patria already looks impressive, but up close, it's wild how much detail is packed into every inch. We're talking 300 plus carved figures wrapped all the way around telling the story of Mexico, from the Mayans to the modern day. And here's the craziest part. It was all carved by hand by one guy. He spent 11 years on this thing.
We kind of took some pictures by it, walked around it a little bit, and now we're gonna hop back on the bikes and head back down to El Centro. So Sarah's feeling a little dehydrated. I'm pretty sweaty myself, so we decided to stop at a cafeteria restaurant that's kind of halfway in between our ride. It looks cool. There's a car on top of it, a couple people outside eating. So get some water, get some food, rehydrate, refuel, and then head back.
Well, that got slightly scary for me. I was getting very hot and my vision was kind of going black. I assumed there would be like people selling water. I don't know, you see people with like coolers on the street corner all the time, just like selling water and Gatorade. I kind of assumed that would be, gracias. I kind of assumed that would be the case, but that was not the case. So we didn't get any water. By the grace of Mexico, a coconut stand popped up right when I needed it most. Tony got me a coconut. It had probably 3 ounces of juice in it, which was just enough to hold me over for us to get to a restaurant.
Crisis averted, I survived. Here's what we ended up ordering. Tony got a pina colada smoothie and huevos con longaniza.
Perfecto. Gracias.
I got a mango smoothie and some bread. Honestly, I just really wanted the water. Plus, I could just eat some of Tony's, and that's what girlfriends are for. So that plus 2 bottled waters came out to 425 pesos. We paid, rehydrated, and got back on the bikes. By the way, you don't need an app to rent the bikes. On Sundays, there are vendors out that you can rent from. We just figured the app was cheaper, considering it ended up being $1 total for both of us. Weekdays settled into a rhythm. Class in the morning, then lunch. And if we weren't grabbing a plate from Erica's kitchen, we'd wander to one of the nearby restaurants to try something new.
Yes. I realized pretty quickly that chilaquiles was becoming one of my favorite breakfasts. We tried a bunch of spots, starting with chilaquiles, which is a solid choice. Build your own plate. We went with blue corn tortillas, salsa verde, and arrachera. You actually get a mountain of chilaquiles for around 150 pesos. Here we paid a total of 448 pesos, including our smoothies. But my favorite overall, maíz, canela, and cilantro. This place feels like having breakfast at your grandmother's house, if your grandmother was a culinary wizard.
Me gustaría piña con chaya y huevos a la mexicana con tortillas.
Para mí, me gustaría horchata.
Ok.
Y chilaquiles de la casa.
¿Con pollo o huevo?
Huevo, ¿cómo se dice? Scrambled.
¿Revueltos?
Revueltos, sí, sí. Gracias.
It feels very like homey. Un momento. I'm shy. It feels very homey in here. The kitchen is like right there and it's all glass so you can see in it. They say it's supposed to be like eating at your abuela's house, but it smells so good. I got piña con chaya juice, I think, and huevos a la mexicana, which is just like eggs, beans, and then it comes with tortillas.
This is a huge space and it's kind of hidden because the outside looks a little plain and you come inside and a lot of the buildings here, if you go inside, there's this whole like courtyard area. It's just full of greenery. It's all really beautiful here, but once you get out here, you can go look inside the kitchen and see them making the food. You can keep working. You can trabajar. This restaurant is like a couple blocks away from Mercado Santiago. It's on Calle 70 and Calle 55, I think. But it's pretty cool. Like you can see right into the kitchen. It's really just like a bunch of aunties making food for you.
I don't know if this is what you're supposed to do, so don't yell at me, but I love beans, so I'm going to put beans on it. Poco picante. It's poco picante. It's really good.
So I've come to learn that I love chilaquiles. Basically like eating nachos for breakfast. What can't you love, right? These might be the best so far.
380 pesos for the best desayunos I've had in Merida, total steal. And since we're already nearby, we figured we'd walk it off with a quick stroll past Mercado Santiago.
Take a load off. These chairs just make sense. I'm very obsessed. It's like the best of a bench with armrests, but then you can face the person you're talking to.
Another perk is you can arm wrestle.
That's not how you do it.
Oh. How was I doing it?
But when it comes to tacos in Merida, you've got options. We checked out Mercado Santiago because there's a taqueria there called La Lupita that's gotten really popular. Thanks, Netflix. But the line is always way too long for us. The better move, enter YNA. No wait, just incredible tacos, fast and flavorful. We're calling it the best tacos in Merida. Bold claim, yes, absolutely, but the hype is justified. They have a lot of different kinds of meats to choose from. Right when we walked in, we met Israel, who is one of the workers here, and he was very excited to explain everything. He gave us some of our favorites, so we each got 3 tacos, and I predict we're going to be getting more as well. I was recommended this restaurant from TikTok. One of our followers on TikTok is from Merida, or her family's from Merida, and this is one of her favorite spots. Tony's going to do the initial taste test.
Don't ask me what I got, because I don't know, but it looks good.
That's cochinita.
This is cochinita. We're gonna need more than 3.
Yep.
Every time Tony puts the camera down and I take a bite that I hadn't had before and I have the biggest reaction, and he's always mad that he didn't get it on camera, so I'm gonna reenact it. Oh my God.
Spot on. Ladies and gentlemen, we have found the best taqueria in Merida. Hands down. Whoever recommended this.
Can't even tell you all the tacos we got. The cochinita, chili bowl, and pork belly with queso were probably our top 3. But if you see Israel, get his recommendations.
Which ones are your favorite tacos?
My favorite is a pork belly with cheese.
I'm trying to show you these tacos, but they really don't look like much. But that's the key to a good taco, in my opinion. Simple ingredients, done right.
Pork belly with cheese, but the cheese is crispy.
What do you do when you've just eaten the most delicious tacos? You order more.
You had 8. How many more could you eat?
I mean, I could.
How many more?
I could. At least 2 more.
At least 2 more.
At least 2 more. Maybe 3.
11 tacos.
If I want to get if I get full, 3 more. If I want to get just a little full, 2 more.
And we have a 30-minute walk back.
Yeah, burn it off.
And it's 100 degrees. We just had 12 tacos in what basically turned into a full-on taco eating contest. And you'd think that kind of feast would break the bank, right? Nope. 386 pesos for 12 tacos plus 2 drinks. Mexico, we love you. It's too bad we leave in a couple days because Israel dropped a list of his favorite spots in Merida. Pause the video and write these down for yourself, because if his recs are half as good as his taco recommendations, then you can't miss these spots.
When I die, wherever afterlife is, I need there to be tacos waiting for me that good. I'm not exaggerating. They were so good.
As we were leaving, I had asked Israel how you say the name of the place, and it's Wayane, and it is Mayan in the Mayan language for I'm here, or estás aquí. Estoy aquí. Estoy aquí. We spent the afternoon doing a bit more exploring, wandering through neighborhoods we hadn't seen yet, no real plan, and that's the whole point. And then we waited for nightfall.
Finally made it to Pok Ta Pok. Like the other nightly events in Merida, you'll want to get there at least 30 minutes early if you want a decent seat. Plus, before the match starts, they actually pass the ball around so you can feel the weight of this thing. Then the ceremony begins. A conch shell blows, drums thunder, a blessing is given. It's dramatic, it's spiritual, it's Mother's Day? Yeah, since this happened to land on the weekend, they pulled 8 moms out of the crowd to be sacrificed. Kidding! They were being honored with blessed water. Then the fire's lit, the lights shift, and the players emerge ready to kick this into full gear. And the game begins. Imagine trying to play basketball, but you can only dribble and shoot with your hips. That's Pok Ta Pok. It looks insanely hard. Sliding across the ground over and over again probably isn't super fun either. But I'd play in a heartbeat. Now, not back then. Back then they didn't hand out trophies, if you know what I'm saying. When the exhibition is over, a winner is crowned. And luckily, everyone gets to keep their lives. Big win for modern times. But just when you think it's over, they light the freaking ball on fire. I was not expecting that.
También era considerado Dios de la guerra.
But at least now they can use their hands.
Del tiempo, la luz, el calor y los cuatro rumbos del universo cuadrados que representan un fuerte estrabismo. Es por eso que los gobernantes del periodo clásico ostentaron como parte de su nombre el título de...
Wait, did he really just try to dunk a flaming ball? These guys deserve a ton of credit. Modern times or not, that looked pretty dangerous. And of course, I had to get my photo with the crew.
Well, that was totally worth the wait. We spent weeks trying to find this game because we thought it was on Saturdays. So don't make the same mistake we did. It's on Fridays at 8 p.m. Totally worth it. That was a lot of fun.
Tony and I are about to do something that we have never done in Merida, and that is go out. Go out into the night. We're going out to dinner to a place that we've been meaning to go to for several weeks. And then we're gonna go to a cantina that is supposed to be very popular and lively and has come very highly recommended to us.
We kicked things off at Mercado 60. Live music, dancing, and a bunch of trendy food stalls to choose from. It's definitely more modern than traditional, but it's still pretty solid. The lighting was absolutely awful for filming our food, but we got a burrito, a queso frito, and a few tacos to split. Zero regrets. Our time at Mercado 60 was short-lived, not because it wasn't fun, but because we had our sights set on something else. We were racing to get to La Negrita, one of the oldest cantinas in Merida's city center. Apparently, it's lively, loud, and exactly the kind of place you want to end your night in.
I started looking around the cantina and I noticed everyone had the same drink in front of them. So I did what any curious traveler would do. I ordered one, with zero clue what was in it. Because when in doubt, do as the locals do. I still really don't know what's in this thing, but it kind of looks like an adios motherfucker. Needless to say, it was a good time.
Man, we shut that place down because it closes at 9:30. I thought it's like a very famous cantina, so I thought it would close at like 3, but it closed at 9:30. But we stayed until the lights came on. Because we're fun.
It's our last full day in Merida, and since we did a decent job sticking to our budget these past few months, we figured why not splurge a little for our final meal. We carved out time to hit every spot people recommended that we hadn't made it to yet, and yeah, totally worth the wait. We kind of missed the mark on this neighborhood early on our trip. It's definitely a little more high-end, but wow, is it beautiful.
I see why you need a reservation for this place. We were able to get a table, but it's 2:30 and she was like, we have a reservation at 5, can you just be done by then? And we're like, yeah, not a problem.
First up, drinks. I went for the mora. Think spicy citrus meets mezcal with a strong kick. Tony got a Naked and Famous, which sounds like a lifestyle choice, but is actually mezcal, Aperol, and limon.
This place came recommended to us over and over and over again by classmates, by people on the internet, by the internet in general, and so far it looks fabulous. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Look at it.
Yeah, but there's a chili pepper next to it on the menu for a reason.
And like I said, we are gonna splurge a little. First up, grilled beef bone marrow.
Bone marrow sandwich.
Spread it on some good bread with a little onion and cilantro, and it was game over.
I've never oh, that's a lie. I was gonna say I've never eaten something. Wait, that's a really big lie. I was gonna say I've never eaten something off the bone. I've had ribs, I've had wings.
Chicken.
Fried chicken, I'm hungry.
Oh my god.
That is insane. I can never be vegetarian. Might be one of the best things I've ever had in my life.
We made short work of that. Then came the mains. I got lentils with octopus and longaniza in this rich tomato sauce. It was smoky, hearty, and way more comforting than I expected for something with tentacles.
That was pretty damn good.
Just very savory. The lentils are really cooked well, and then the cherry tomatoes add kind of a sweetness to it. Tony went with the shrimp mexlapique, grilled shrimp served in a corn husk with this creamy, dreamy cheese situation.
This is definitely going to be our most expensive meal in Merida, but I think it'll be worth it. It already seems worth it. We'll just get food poisoning.
As we were leaving, they handed us marshmallows, cookies, and a little card because we were trying to speak Spanish. 10 out of 10 would eat here again.
Our total came out to $86 US. When we were in Maryland for Valentine's Day this year, we went to a Mexican restaurant, like a very run-of-the-mill neighborhood Mexican restaurant. It was $120.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we drank. No, we did have a margarita.
We did.
One margarita each.
It was a giant margarita, but still.
This place, we got 4 cocktails between the 2 of us. We got a bone marrow appetizer and 2 entrees.
$86.
And delicious.
Most expensive meal in Merida, but worth every penny.
Worth every peso.
We came to Merida for change, for Spanish classes, for tacos, for a detour. But we stayed for something we didn't expect. Also, if you're still here, you're probably wondering how our Spanish sounds now. Well, I'll let Sarah go and I'll save mine for a later video.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Sara, soy de Estados Unidos y soy una creador de contenido. Ahora yo vivo en Mérida por un día más. Yo tengo un gato, se llama Ado, y yo tengo un novio, se llama Tony. Me gusta viajar mucho y me gusta bailar. Viajar y bailar son mis pasatiempos. ¿Qué más? Ahora yo necesito practicar y hablar más en español porque yo quiero hablar con los locales en otros países. Por ejemplo, México y Guatemala y Panama y Costa Rica. I couldn't think of another country. Is this good? Okay.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
If you want to see more of our Spanish progress, follow us on TikTok. Sarah's been posting all the updates, mostly hers. I'm still terrible and mildly terrified of putting myself out there on the interwebs just yet. Until then, don't forget to subscribe for more chaos, food, and attempts at speaking Spanish coming your way.
Did not have as much brain fry as I think I would. My 1,700 days of Duolingo has come quite in handy.